Hey y'all, it's Amanda with Tap Mom and the Bake Brigade. Oop, I moved the tripod, sorry. Hope y'all are having a good night. I'm doing a little better today, emotionally anyway. I've been cleaning half the day, well, some of the day. I did some cleaning. We seem to be having issues with gnats. We take the trash out regularly and we wash the dishes regularly, but our countertops were filthy, to say the least. Our microwave was dirty. Lots of things were dirty in there, and so I just went in there and scrubbed everything, and which took some time. And I'm gonna put some lotion on my hands while I'm talking to y'all, just a little bit, because I'm gonna grab a yarn in a minute. But and this is what is this? Very generic Equate, the Walmart brand hydrating body lotion with aloe. So it's just stuff that you can get at Walmart. I think anything with aloe in it is usually a good, safe bet. It doesn't have a very strong smell. It's very, very mild smelling, and it gets the job done. I've been dealing with Comet and cleaner and all kinds of stuff all day, so my hands kind of took a beating. And somehow I was cleaning my face before coming on to visit with y'all, and I noticed I had a little bit of a breakout going on, and my skin's, I don't eat a lot of fried food, and I don't eat a lot of, usually when I eat a lot of fried food or I eat chocolate a lot, I get pimples. To put it bluntly, I get pimples from fried food and a lot of chocolate. But I haven't been eating that. But these bumps, there's one here on my, like right in here. It's very faint. And then there's some right on my cheekbones here and around in here. I didn't see any on my forehead, so I think it was just centrally located here. And they don't itch, but they're really red. I thought they, for a half a second, I thought they might have been pimples, but they're just red little bumps. So I use some alcohol on my face, which I do often because I tend to get oily. So my skin is kind of a combination skin. Like my nose will get a little oily, my forehead will get oily, the rest of my face will get dry. So what I typically do is, as far as taking care of my skin, is I will clean my face thoroughly with alcohol, rubbing alcohol, and then I will put some moisturizer on my skin. This is stuff I got at Ollie's. It was on sale for like $2. I use this or oil of Olay, because oil of Olay is my go-to. It's been my go-to my whole life. My grandmother used it and never looked her age. And but this just happened to be on sale, and I remembered the commercials for this when I was a kid. So it's Pond's Rejuvenous Skin Tightening Serum. I don't know, it has vitamin B3 and retinol complex, but it's a kind of a thinner moisturizer, and I just put it on my face, and I rub it in real good. And then once it's, and then if I'm going to be doing a video, I'll use some concealer for my luggage under my eyes. And I just recently started doing this. I don't know what made me care. I don't know what made me start caring about the luggage under my eyes, the hereditary dark circles that I've had for my whole life. But suddenly I care. And so I've been using a little concealer under my eyes, and then I'll use some face powder and a little lip gloss, and that's usually the extent of my makeup. And I just do this, and I've just started doing this in the last few months, where I'll do that to even leave the house. But being a single female, you never know who you might run into when you leave home. You want to look a little better than half dead. So Also a little concealer, a little powder, a little lip gloss. Never hurt anybody, right? That's the extent. It takes me 5 minutes. I don't go overboard with it. I just, do it to make myself feel better about myself. That's all I do it for. I don't really, I did get flirted with on, what was it? Tuesday or Wednesday? I can't remember. I think it was Tuesday when I went to Walmart, the pharmacy. I was leaving the pharmacy. And there was this gentleman standing there as I was leaving, and he said, "Ooh, I like that red hair." And I turned around, and he was really handsome in the face. He was older. He's at least 10 years older than me. And I turned around, and he had a real handsome face. And I said, "Well, I like your face." I couldn't think of a solid thing better to say than that. I'm so completely out of practice with flirtation that I had no idea what to say. I knew he was flirting with me, but I was like, think of something quick. Think of something quick. So the only thing I could think of was, "I like your face." Sorry, we're having gnat problems. I mean, all the trash has been taken out, and, there's no standing water, but they're still here. So I guess I could go to Walmart tomorrow and try to find something to get rid of these gnats, because you can only clean your house so much and still have these little bzzz around, and you're just like pulling it's a little stressful. But I did all that cleaning today, and they're still buzzing, and I'm like, why? Oh, and I did get some Happy Mail today too, so I'm going to share that with you. I got some Happy Mail from my friend Amie over at Hooked on Wishing Crochet. I will link her in the description box. Now, she did show all these cutie things that she made on her channel prior to sending them to me. And I knew what she was sending. She had me and Eva both pick out some our favorites out of some of her recent makes, and then we were blessed with Happy Mail. Eva's birthday is next Friday. She will be 51, and she doesn't look it either. She's a gorgeous little woman, and so this mail from Amie for her today was for her birthday, and she wrapped everything in this beautiful tissue paper that has glittery on it, and so her presentation is, as always, fantastic. So you always know when you're going to get a package from Amie that it's going to be wrapped beautifully and that you're going to love what's inside. Now, I did manage, in the crochet journey, here we are. I did manage to get this put together. That's the wrong side. But I did manage to get this top part, this front. Now, the girls are a little worried about this being too big for me. That's a possibility. It really is. But we'll just have to wait and see. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, oh, they might be right. But I don't know. I'm thinking they might be right. Oh, I'm not liking this at all. I might have to take this middle part up. Oh. There's a lot that went into putting this first panel together, and I'm like, do I really want to have to take all this apart? Because when I took ends in, I really took them in, and digging them out and taking stuff apart, it's not fun when you do things the way that I do them. So taking this apart to make this, because I'm looking at this now that I'm on camera with y'all, I'm not liking that at all. That's, to me, that middle part is gonna have to come, I don't know. I don't know if that's gonna work. That's not gonna work. See there? See what y'all help me figure out? I gotta take that apart. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll pull a t-shirt out that works for, and just make it for someone bigger than myself. I don't know who. I can't think of nobody right now, but I can make it just for a bigger person than myself. Because the problem when I start making things for myself, in the fact that I've lost 150 pounds this past year, is that I keep thinking that I'm bigger than I am. I struggle with that. And look, there's my dimple. Ooh, I hadn't seen her in a while. Sorry, the things you realize while you're taping. But I keep doing that. So I don't know if I want to take, because I just don't know if I want to take that apart. Because what I need to do is, I'm going to have to take these two halves apart again. I'm going to have to take this bottom part off, which I didn't tuck the ends on, so that part's easy. And then I got to take out, I'm thinking 2 of these rows that I did in the middle. Yeah. So this is not going to be hard because I didn't tuck this end in yet. So this won't be hard. So this should, you know, my little single crochet connect won't be hard to undo. It's the undoing of these rows here, but I think that's what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to undo these rows here, at least 2 of them on each panel, because when I hold this up to myself, if you look how far that goes out. It goes past my shoulders, and that's not what it's supposed to do. So yeah, and look how wonky that looks. Yeah, that's wrong. That's on so many levels wrong. So yeah, that might go into the I might start a new one and leave that one alone for a while. Now that I know my mistake. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I want to undo that just yet. I don't know. I just don't like going back and correcting things. I don't like to do it. But I know I need to do it. I just don't like to do it because it's a pain in the, you know what? Because then you got to frog out. I got to frog out the two halves that I just connected, and then I got to find my, you know, I'm gonna have to cut apart. I'm gonna have to cut the, you know, two sides, but all 4 pieces. All of this has got to be taken apart. Every bit of it has got to be taken apart. These 2 halves right here that I sewed together, this top and this bottom, has got to be taken apart. And then these parts have to be taken apart. And this has to be taken apart. You know how much craziness that is? If I didn't really want this to work, I probably, you know, but how am I going to learn what it, you know, what is going to work if I don't undo it, right? And then redo it and have it work out. But there's definitely too much room here, and this is really the only place to take it out. This is the only place because I added rows here, and this is the only place that it makes sense to take it from. So, meh. I don't wanna. But I will. I'll put some music on and I will take that apart, all of it, and then I'll take out those. I don't know if I don't know. I don't know if I need to take all rows on both sides. Maybe just 2 on each side. That might do. And then put it back together and see. I don't know. But it's a lot of stuff to take apart. But I'm gonna and I hadn't decided what to do with this either. Other than continue to make a square with it. Oh, I thought about this being the baby blanket for the baby boy that is due in Eva's family later on this year. I thought about that. I'm seriously considering that being the case. Because wouldn't that be a pretty baby blanket? That would be pretty, wouldn't it? Just keep going and then finish it up with that ivory border. That would be really pretty. And that might be what I do. I know people are going, what? You bought that to make tops? Yes, I did. But look how beautiful that would be for a baby. Oh, and it's perfect. It's 3-weight. It's anti-peeling. Come on now. If I keep going on this, I think that at a certain point, instead of making rounds, I might, you know, make it longer, or, you know, I don't know. I'm just going to keep going until I make my mind up what I'm going to do with it. Until it tells me what it wants to be. Does that make sense to y'all? Because that's how life is. Sometimes you just need something to work on something till it tells you what it wants to be. And with all the things going on in my life, and I'm on yet another new medication. Now, I will say this. Last night, I started the new medication, and I slept like a baby. It did make me sleepy, and I was kind of grateful, because sometimes it's really hard for me to get my brain to shut off so that I can go to sleep. And I think a lot of y'all probably relate to that. But yeah, sometimes it's really hard to just get my brain to stop thinking, to stop racing, I would not necessarily racing thoughts, but just crochet projects, crochet ideas. I don't even know if I want to tell y'all this little nugget of information, because this was encouraged by the besties, and now I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing. Because y'all all know that I've been single a really long time, and because about 4 years ago, close to it anyway, or maybe even longer than that, I got my heart broken really bad. I met this person on a dating app. Re-talked FaceTime, and re-talked on the phone, re-text on a daily basis for months and months. Got to know each other really well, and I fell for this person. And they finally, after, Lord, almost a year, just, came to visit me at the old house that we used to live at. And we went to dinner. And him and my sons got along really well. He spent the night with me, which I felt comfortable doing after, right at a year of communication and getting to know a person, Had a great night. He went back home to Arkansas, and we continued to talk, FaceTime. Things went back to normal, and after about 2 weeks, poof, I stopped hearing from him. No explanation. No, all the person would have had to say is, you know what, I'm not feeling the same about you that you're feeling about me. This is not working for me. We live in 2 different states, blah, blah, blah. Just some, even if it was lame, even if it had been a little cruel, any explanation would have been fine. But to just completely ghost a person with no explanation. And he did have some medical issues. He had something going on with his colon that he was supposedly having issue with. He did show me medication he was on. So here I was, thinking that this person that I loved, something's terrible has happened to them, right? Why would all of a sudden they just stop talking to me without explanation? Something must have happened to him. I'm looking at obituaries. I'm looking at arrest things to see if he's been arrested for some cockamamie thing. I'm looking high and low as far as my little fingers will let me research and try to find. Nothing. And so it took me probably a month to come to the realization that this person had really ghosted me. That after all that time and all that, that I thought we meant to each other, that it was just over without explanation. I was really, really and truly heartbroken. I had never experienced anything like that before. I mean, I'd been heartbroken before, but with a reason. Someone had, actually said, hey, I don't want to be with you no more, or I had dumped them, or, for something that they did, or, what have you. A reason would be known, why that would be over with. But, no, nothing at all. And, it took me a long time. And I even told him that if at some point he broke my heart, that I would just be done dating. That I felt like I had invested so much emotion in that relationship that I didn't think that I could do it again. Because I have really been through a lot of stuff with relationships, and being hurt and being mistreated, and at one time having my whole life controlled. I've been through the ringer, and for me to let my walls down and actually love somebody is a very difficult thing. It was very difficult for me to do that, and then to have it end so abruptly and so without explanation was very difficult, to say the least. And it took me a very long time to heal from that, and a lot of positive reinforcement from people that love me, and to let me know that I am indeed lovable, and that there is possibly someone out there that is maybe thinking that they're not lovable, but they're a great person, and would really like to have someone like me in their life. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to rush and get married or anything like that, but an activity partner, a friend to go do things with, fishing, to the park, to walk a dog, a road trip with, out to dinner, maybe go bowling, or, some other kind of mini putt-putt golf, or, just activities, that you don't want to do by yourself. I'm not trying to, like I said, rush into any kind of seriousness right away. Things like that really need to grow. They need to, it takes time to develop into something serious, and where, trust takes time to be earned and appreciated. And I'm not going to, fall into the same trap again. I want someone local. I don't want someone from real far away, because I don't want to be ghosted again. I don't want to set myself up for that to happen again. It was very hard, and even though at the time I was not as independent as I am now, I didn't have my own income at the time. I was working on my disability, but didn't quite have it yet, and so I didn't have as much to offer anybody then as I do now. I mean, I'm fully independent and have my own, everything. So it's not like someone would have to come along and take care of me. I take care of myself. So I feel like I'm a better catch than I was 4 years ago. But I'm still the same good-hearted, fun-loving person that I've always been. I just have my act together a bit better than I did 4 years ago. And of course then there's the 150-pound weight loss that made me look better. Feel better about how I look, I should say. I don't know about look better, but feel better about how I look, yes. Definitely feel more confident in my look than I did. Like I said, I'm putting dabs of makeup on before I go in public these days, just because I want to, because it makes me feel pretty, and I want to, I just want to feel pretty, and so that's why I do it. I put my little concealer on and my little powder, my lip gloss, because I want to feel pretty, and I think after going through the rigors of weight loss surgery and the recovery and the change in my lifestyle eating wise, that I kind of deserve to feel pretty, and take a little pride in my appearance. I didn't do that before as much. And so I'm doing that now because I feel a little better about myself, physically anyway. And thanks to you all and my very close friends, I do feel lovable. I do feel like that there is someone out there just for me, and that will love me just like I am, and that would like to spend their time with me. And maybe at some point down the road, after it being established, and trust is established and whatnot, a lifetime partnership would really be nice at some point. But like I said, I'm not trying to rush into anything. I need to take it nice and easy, get to know whoever the person is, and know that I could trust them and what they say and what they're going to do, and that what they say they're going to do, they actually do, and not, constantly let a person down. Those are important things to me. Raising kids by yourself with minimal help makes you very much realize that there are only a few people in this world that you can depend on. Yourself, the children you raise, and maybe one or two good friends. And that's about it. You don't allow yourself to depend on other people just as a habit, because of being let down so much. So you learn how to do a lot of stuff on your own, or have or have your go-to people, grown sons, to do them for you. But you certainly don't go to perfect strangers or someone that you've only been talking to 5 minutes and ask them to do stuff for you. That's not something that I would do. So, but I have met one that I went on Facebook date because I didn't want to have to pay for the service, because I don't have a lot of disposable income to be paying for dating services. You know what I mean? And I'm not a person who goes to bars. I don't drink. I don't smoke. So, and I'm not I'm not terribly, other than being on social media as a content creator, I'm not a terribly social person. So going out in public and, socializing, with the exception of some random gentleman commenting about my hair at Walmart, which was quite a boost, I will say, because he was very handsome, and I told him as much in my awkward little way. I like your face. and honestly, when I'm looking through those ads, or they're not called ads, they're called profiles. When I'm looking through profiles, I look for a person's eyes and how kind they look. Things that they say in their profile, if they mention God or being a Christian, that's always a big plus. Not a deal breaker if they don't, but it definitely helps. But, there's this one gentleman that I've definitely become friends with. I'm not too terribly sure that it's going to go beyond friendship, but I'm really enjoying being his friend. It's been very easy being his friend, and he's never it's only been about a week, but so far he's not made me feel disrespected or question anything he said. He's not tried the typical things that you look for when you're the things that I've encountered in years of on and off dating websites. You'll run across what they call romance scammers, and I can spot those from a mile away. I used to do tech support over the phone and help people with internet connections, and the stuff that my customers would tell me about, that trouble that they would, a lot of senior citizens would get they're very vulnerable, especially senior citizens that have been widowed, and they go online thinking they're going to find a new love, and then they run into a romance scammer and they take them for everything they own. And I just can't tell you how heartbreaking that was to hear, not from one person, not from two people, but at least 10 different people. And it just broke my heart, especially because some of these folks was my regular, people that I had encountered more than one time. Or if they had an ongoing issue with their service, I would set up to call them back and continue to help them. And when you set up callbacks and you continue to help a particular customer, you become friends with that customer, and you start to kind of care about them, and and when things happen to them, it really, it bothers you and breaks your heart, even though you're doing anything about it is without out your scope of control. But it doesn't change the fact that you hate that it happened to them, and you wished you could do something about it, And so, and the thing is the scam was so blatant. It was so obvious that's what was happening. And that's what upset me so bad, is that they were so obvious, and that because these folks were so desperate for love, they just took them at their word. Romance scammers are real obvious a lot of times, and they'll come on, and like within the first 15-20 minutes, they've told you they love you. That's how they do it. Within the first 15 or 20 minutes, they're in love with you. And for someone who is vulnerable and who's been through a lot and is really, really hungry for love, they just snap that up like, they snap it up. They eat it up. And next thing you know, they've been talked out of their life savings. And it is just ridiculous. And so just a little tip, and because I can see these people coming from a mile away, because I did tech support for, internet service, and talked to all these people that have been through it. Plus I experienced scammers trying to do it to me, and I just laugh and go block, because I could see it. No one is going to say they love you within 15 minutes or even a few days and have it be genuine. Someone that's genuinely in love with you, in my opinion, that takes time. It's not something you do within a week, or or a real quick thing. Love is not a quick thing. It needs time to be established. Trust needs time to grow. You just need time. You can't rush love. And if someone that you've never met, and you met them on the internet, and all of a sudden they're telling you they love you, be suspect of them, and for God's sakes, don't send them any money. Someone that really truly loves you is not going to ask you for money. Not at all. Never going to ask you for money. If they really and truly love you and want to spend time with you, that is not love. That is using you. And no one should have that happen to them. No one. So just be very, very wary of anyone that you met on the internet that is suddenly asking you for money, or they're asking you for a gift card, or to send money to somebody else, or they just all of a sudden start showering you with gifts. I had one do that, and I was like, yeah, there's something behind this, and there was a catch, and the joke was on them. Because your girl ain't stupid. I called it the reverse catfish, because I got them, they didn't get me. So, just be wary. Very wary of someone that's, all of a sudden showering you with all kinds of compliments and all kinds of I love yous. That is That is not real. That just is not. Especially if you met them online. They are Nigerian. Typically they're in Nigeria. Some of them are in India. And I've even heard of them being in Pakistan. So that's the killer part, is most of them ain't even in the United States, and they're taking money. I just don't know how they're doing it. I just know that they do. And unfortunately, they do it to some of the most vulnerable people in our society. The folks that are just lonely and looking for love. Well, let me tell you, I've been alone a long time, and I could take my time in finding that true love. I don't need someone to just all of a sudden be showering me with all kinds of compliments. I get highly suspect of people that do that. I look in the mirror, I know that I'm cute. I don't need to be told I'm cute. I'm good, really. You know, just ask what I'm into, you know. What's my dog's name? What are my hobbies? What's my favorite music? Get to know you questions, you know, not silly questions like how much do you make a month. That is none of your business, sir. I'm not asking you to pay no bills. This ain't a loan application. Why do you need to know that? These are things I want y'all to ask yourself if you're ever in that situation. If they start asking you about your income, say, wait a minute, this ain't a loan application. Why are you asking me that? Be highly suspect. Because unfortunately, there are still very sweet, very vulnerable people in our society that unfortunately there are people that make their living taking advantage of them. I wish that I was young and could go back to college and get one of them cybersecurity jobs and root these people out. But it's just not in me to do that. But if another lifetime, I would have done that. I would have went into cybersecurity and maybe even cyber law enforcement and rooted these people out and put them behind bars where they belong. Nothing would give me more joy than that. But unfortunately, the way that they do it, very seldom do they have any consequences for their actions. And that is what really is galling and angering. So if you have a loved one, especially a senior citizen that is doing online dating, please sit them down and give them tools and give them that advice, and to hopefully they can spot it too. And anybody that won't exchange a real phone number with you, that they'll only message you over a messaging service or only email, they're not local, they're overseas, they're trying to get your money. If they won't exchange a local working phone number with you to text or phone or talk on the phone, then they are not legit. If you can't FaceTime them or video call them to see their face and see them talking at the same time, and they don't speak good English, they are not legit. They are phony, and they're up to no good. I've not only experienced their attempts myself, but I've seen them on Dr. Phil. When I used to watch Dr. Phil all the time, and he used to have a show. He did a lot of shows about those online romance scammers, and he would track them down and call them out and have them on his show, video call, and he would bust them. I was so proud of him for that. That was so needed. There was some people on that show that had lost hundreds of thousands of dollars. It really, really just makes you angry to know that happened to people. But it does. But it's not going to happen to me, I promise y'all that. I know the warning signs. I know what to look for. And I created that dating profile, and I can delete that dating profile and be just fine and go back to not dating anybody. Now, I'd love to have an activity partner and something that, might turn into a loving partnership. That'd be wonderful. I got 2 of my closest friends that are happily married women. I'm not looking to get married again, but a partnership would, be great. So, it'd be nice not to be the third wheel, you know what I'm saying? That kind of sucks. Let me make this, I'll make this round and then we'll call it, because we are at a 40-minute video. There have been a couple that, one of them I was talking to today, he got kind of nasty and I just blocked him. He brought up something he shouldn't have brought up and got nasty and disrespectful, and I didn't even give him the courtesy of a explanation. I just blocked him. Hopefully when he sits back and thinks, well, I shouldn't have brought that up. That's right, Bubba. You talked about stuff you shouldn't have been talking about in the first conversation with somebody. For Pete's sake. I know we're adults and everything, but that conversation was a bit 6 months too soon. In my opinion, anyway. About 6 months too soon. So, yeah, I just blocked him without explanation. And hopefully he figures it out. I mean, honestly, at that point, being just the first few minutes of a conversation, I didn't owe him nothing. If I'd been talking to him for a month and he did it and it made me mad, I would have, told him, you shouldn't be talking to me that way. And I'd have, give him a chance to correct himself. But in the very first conversation, no, I don't owe him nothing. Bye-bye. Welcome to the block list. Y'all know what I mean? Who knows? He might even be watching this. Bless his heart. Probably scratching his head. Why did she block me? Because you got nasty? Because you got nasty. And there was no reason for that. The conversation wasn't even heading in that direction. And you had to get nasty and disrespectful. And that revealed your true colors, Bubba. Mama, don't play that. Nope, nope, nope. I am a Christian woman after all. I will be treated as such. Sometimes you really just have to teach people how to treat you. You really do. You have to teach them how to treat you. And after less than an hour of conversation, I didn't owe him that. I'm working my way back there. Yep, there I am right there. I'm almost there. Y'all know I do this fast, but this is 3-weight yarn with a 5mm hook. And it's like butter. This anti-peeling stuff is like butter. Get you some. I swear I love working with it. Especially when I wash it and it don't peel up. Oh, how sweet that is. Even though that cotton will, that I love this cotton, you gotta wash whatever you make out of that by itself, because it's gonna fuzz all over things. My lint catcher, when I dry it, will be full of that color. I love the yarn, but I don't love that part, because it glides on the hook too. It really does. That's how I be so fast, because I get this really good soft yarn that just glides on the hook. That's stiff stuff. I can't. If it don't flow properly, I can't use it. I have a patience problem, and slow moving things get on my nerves. I'm terrible in traffic too. Someone in front of me don't want to go the speed limit. Oh, that aggravates me. or someone that sits there after the light has turned green, and they just sit and sit and sit. I give them almost a full minute before I beat the horn. Almost a full minute. Because, I mean, you don't know what they might be picking their nose. I don't know. But I try to give them close to a minute before I beat the horn. And I don't do like an annoying beat. I just do a tip, you know. And usually most people, I would say probably 98% of them, they oh, yeah, let me go, you know. And then there's that one. There's that one that says, nope, I'm going to sit here longer and make her angry. I don't let them do it to me, though. I go around them. If I can't, I just go around them. There we go. We got some progress. But, yep, that's our session tonight. Oh, my God. I just realized something. I didn't show you my happy mail. Running my mouth and didn't show you my happy mail. Okay. Forgive me, Amie. Tagged you and everything. Well, I already been through this, just to let y'all know, but she included this beautiful notebook, and she put me a card in here. There's a pretty card in here. She always sends the prettiest cards. She knows how I feel about sunflowers. So it's a beautiful sunflower. It says, thank you so much. And then inside it says, someone as special as you certainly knows how to make the world a better place. And she wrote me a little private note in here. And it says, sincerely, Amie. She sent this on Monday the 5th. And so there's that part. And she had showed this on her channel, this beautiful sunflower purse that, and Amie is so smart with crochet and such an experienced crocheter that she goes and just plucks things from tutorials and things that she's learned over time. She can look at a picture of something and then go make a version of that thing, but not exactly that thing. And that's what she did here. We were all sharing pictures of things that we had seen on Instagram, and we saw a sunflower purse on Instagram. And I said, ooh, and I just went, you know, I was like, ooh, that's really beautiful, beautiful. And so she made this. And so this is really beautiful. And this part opens up here. And there's the inside of the purse. And it has this pretty little, well, it looks like a stitch marker. Yeah, little flower stitch marker. I don't know if y'all can see that. It's just a little flower. It's really pretty. And then, of course, she made these little leaves and attached them in a little bow. And then she put a ribbon through the strap here. And it's beautiful. So pretty. So well thought out. And I love it so much. It's one of those things you wear to like you use it when on a special occasion when you only need a few things in your purse and not your whole life. And then she made this beautiful peacock. and what she did is there was this pattern for flamingos, and so she adapted the flamingo pattern into a peacock for me because she knows I love peacocks. Well, and in peacocks, the male peacock is the one that has the beautiful big fan of feathers, right? And she gave it a little crown. Isn't that beautiful? Look at the detail. And she did this with thread, y'all. And then she put pipe cleaners in its legs so it's posable. And then she did this detail back here. Look at that. Look at how all with cotton thread. I'm telling you, the girl is a genius. And so, being as the peacocks that are beautiful are male, so we named this one Pete the Peacock. There's always a thought process and when I name it my amigurumi gifts. And this next one is something that she also showed on her channel in a short. And y'all know I love everything ocean. Anything to do with the ocean, I love it. All its little creatures, shark to puffer fish. So my thought process in naming this one, because she added the lips, the red lips later, because I'm always wearing red lipstick a lot. I love red lipstick, But when I saw it, I looked at these big eyes like this, the kind of bigger eyes, and it reminded me of the actress Betty Davis. And how in her movies she would have this big mouth of big pouty lips with red, and then she had big eyes, and so Betty. Betty the pufferfish. And then she sent me an Empkin. I know a lot of y'all that make amigurumi will know what I'm talking about. The Empkin. And this is a strawberry. Well, I'm a fan of blues music. And there's a song, I think B.B. King sings it. I'll have to look and verify, but it's Strawberry Hill, I think, or it might be something. I think it might be on Blueberry Hill. I don't know, but I just took a spin on that song anyway. I can't remember the exact words of the song, but it run in my head when I was thinking of this, and I was thinking Strawberry Hill, Jill. So that's how this one got named Jill. Strawberry Jill. And I eat a ton of strawberries, so this couldn't be more appropriate if it tried. It just couldn't be more appropriate. Let's see, one last little thing. I think there's just one last little thing, yeah. And she sent me this little egg here, and it had these little thingies in it. I'm a little confused. That's not uncommon. I do get confused from time to time. I'm human. But it had these little rubber things in it that have scent to them. And this one, I'm not sure. It's some sort of ice cream thing. And I'm going to show it to you closer. But it's rubber. It's like a silicone rubber. And this is Amelia's ice cream. Yeah. And then it has little ice cream on the inside, and then it has the little, yeah. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with these. But I just plopped them back in their little egg that they came in and put the lid back on until I figure it out. I really don't know. I do know what I'm going to do with Betty. I'm going to put a string on this little hook here, and I'm going to put it on my rear view mirror. Yes, so that it goes where I go in the van. It's me and Betty. There's a little bladder thingamajig that she crochets around, and she got a whole bunch of them. I think she's doing she's going to be doing some chickens, for the egg, also an Instagram thing. And she and I both like to get inspiration from Instagram. So yes, I just love this thing. It's so cute. But that is my Happy Mail from Amie over at Hooked on Wishing Crochet. And she is definitely one of my closest friends and a sister to me, as well as Eva and a couple of others. So I'm a very blessed woman to have very good friends who love me and prop me up when I need propping up. And very blessed to also have each and every one of you tuning in to all my crazy videos when you could be watching other people's videos if you wanted. But you're watching mine, and I greatly appreciate that. Please don't forget to give the thumbs up. And if you're new, please subscribe. I could use more subscribers as always. Thank you for coming back and watching me. I really appreciate that. The more views I get, the better off things are for me. Thank y'all so much for coming back. Please remember that I do love you, and so does Jesus. And also, please adopt, don't shop. Your best friend could be waiting for you at the shelter or the rescue. And I will see y'all next time. Bye now.